Lack of Comprehension's Solo by Chuck Schuldiner. Chuck Schuldiner was an icon of the death metal movement. In fact, it is postulated, mostly correctly, that he is the one who is most responsible for its creation. He was quite an impeccable guitar player and an amazing songwriter. In this particular solo, he utilizes the Phrygian dominant, E Phrygian dominant, the symmetrical diminished, and also E minor to accomplish his sonic needs. Although we will be discussing the solo in core, there's a few things that I'd like to cover as well. He never played this solo live, so far as I can tell in any live clip that I've seen, exactly the same way as he played it on the album. He tends to noodle around and drift a bit, and that is completely artistically acceptable. Of course, he wrote the solo, he can do what he wants, that is, with it. It is also worth note that even when played by itself, the rhythm sounds just like a death tune. Chuck had an amazing way of personalizing his riffs. So, I am also not going to cover the harmonies to the solo, as they are really roughly just a fifth apart from some of the root positions. So, without further ado, and if my cat will allow me, let's grab our guitar, which will be tuned to D standard, and begin. So, with my cat still here, this is Hopper. He's a good boy. As we tackle this, we're going to cut this into several different phrases to try to make it a little easier in a chunk sense to get down. So this first bit being in E Phrygian dominant, Hopper boy, is 10-9 on the B string, 10-9 on the G string, 10 on the D string, 12 on the A string, and 11 on the A string. More quickly. Now, if you're wondering what this... See you later, kitty. Now, if you're wondering what the is, it's glissandro, or gliss picking. But glissandro is more correct. It's more of a proper terminology. So all that really is, or ghost notes, you've probably heard that before, is a quick raking of the pick across the strings. And then it's muted, by the way. And then when you hit your target note, you let it ring. It's just a way of adding a little bit of heft or weight to the note you're trying to play, like or that you're going to be playing. Kind of like if I was to... So this sounds a little better than if you just played it completely cleanly. So adding those... And Hopper's back, but making it impossible for you to see what's going on. Okay, so back to the original phrase with gliss picking. Phrase 2. With a cat. Phrase 2. Okay, so this is where the symmetrical diminished comes in, but it also happens to be right in line with E Phrygian dominant, which is basically A harmonic minor, but with an E in the bass. So, going on with that. Six, 7, 9 on the D string. 8, 7, 7, 8, 7, 5. on the way down. So the way you play that's a shift to the... Oh Lord, Cat, you didn't stop that, did you? You did. The ascending portion of this, play that very quickly. Same notes as the descending pattern. They're going back up. Shift up to the 10. And hang out on that note for just a little bit. That being a B note, but really it's an A. So after that begins the first quick technical passage. And bearing in mind that I was able to learn this by slowing down the song itself, pick up some of it by not slowing down, but slowing it down you really get to understand what's going on. The problem is some of this, even though More Sound Studios makes amazing records, some of the sounds tend to blur together because the frequencies are similar. So there are some bits of this that are difficult to get, but this is the best I could come up with. And to me, at least when played quickly, it sounds pretty close to what he's actually doing. So, without any further ado, and bearing in mind also he didn't play this the same way twice live, apparently. So, to demonstrate this, I'm going to demonstrate an Yngwie Malmsteen lick quickly. So, Yngwie and Uli Roth before him would play licks like this. So, and you can play any notes that you'd like together with that. Doesn't really matter. The point is, basically a minor third apart here. It could be a fourth. It doesn't matter. So, pinky, index, ring or any other finger in the middle, going back up to it, and then back down. So Chuck kind of does something like that there. Now that I've given you that section, here's what he actually does, I think. That being symmetrical diminished, whole step, half step, shift up a fret and a string. So from 12 to 13 to 15, so like so. And that's half step, whole step, and then back to whole step, half step. So, something like that. Within that phrase. So, on to the next phrase is an ascending run, also in E Phrygian dominant. So that is on the A string, 7, 8, 11, the D string, 7, 9, 10, repeat 7, 9, 10 on the G string. My ears are saying G sharp, so it's 9, 10, 12, which just follows a E Phrygian dominant scale. And a slide up. And you can use any finger you want for that as long as there's a slide. That works pretty well for me. That works as well if you'd like, to the 12th fret, and you hang out there. So, after that, he starts doing this nice little lick, which is similar to this, but instead it's... So, I'm going to play this quickly. So, okay. So then he plays from here, then he plays this. So that, and mind your vibrato, His is kind of wide. It's not quite Andy LaRue wide, but it's pretty. Plays it like he means it. So here, is just 10, 12, and 13, 9, 11, and 12. That's it. This is where he starts playing in standard E minor. So, and that's a quick roll. After that, it's kind of the iconic ascending section, again in E minor. And I play this differently now than I did in my cover of it, simply because it sounds more correct when I play it this way to me. Getting the vibrato that he puts on specific notes doesn't necessarily require playing it this way, but it really does help to play it this way. So after the, without the harmonic, so here we go. Slow, and that's actually E harmonic minor. Oh, hi, Hattie. Another cat has come to help. E, F sharp, G. Slide up on the B string to the C and the B after that. So, vibrato there on the E flat, or E flat, C. Up to the G note on the B string. Stay a lot on the G string here. F sharp gets a vibrato. E again. And then a unison bend from the 20th fret and the 17th fret together. Has that nice, second tonality. So. And you bend that up. And if you've got a decent rig or good pickups and play it correctly, you're going to hear some transient tones. And those would be tones that you hear going down kind of in between the ascending note and the note that stays put. It just kind of goes, ew. It's great. Love that. So, again, now following that, we have the ending piece. The ending is pretty quick. And again, it's not perfect, but I've got, I think, what sounds pretty close to it. Okay, so it's kind of like this. Slowly, really slowly. And this is all really, if you're familiar with your scales, this is straight A minor, but played in a sequence. Then he shifts back to E minor. The only difference being that in A minor, F would actually be the correct note in this case. So it's a quick modulation. So hangs out on the F sharp. So after that comes the really speedy and repeat. So I'll quickly show you that. This is the riff that comes afterwards, and it's simply starting in octaves. B here, and B here, so 2nd fret A string, 4th fret G string. And I will just go over that in 2 different sections. Again, but I will play it with the same fingerings. 4, 5 on the D string, 4, 5, 4, 2. Repeat that. So 4 on the G string, 5 on the D string. Shifting your finger because we are now shifting the lower note as well. So again, first one. So 4, 5, 4, 5 now. Now that we're playing this open, we shift up another position with our left hand. So 4, 5, 4, 4 on the G, 5 on the D, 4 on the D. And then now on the G string, the 7, 5, 4, and then 5 again on the D. On the lower string, you will be countering this melody with very quick picking on the B note. Basically, now on the G, or the C, I'm sorry. So, with an A bass, so thanks for asking me to do this. I hope that I've given you some food for thought and that I can keep your fingers busy for a while, and I hope at the very least, that it was helpful. If you have any other questions, or if you'd like me to show you how to do anything else that I've done, or just in general, go ahead and ask. I'd be happy to help. Good night, or day, whatever.